Hey there, it's Sheena Nonsense, episode 156, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think I got it in one. And it's the What's Coming Up in February 2024 episode. I'm your host, Eric, joined as always by Kayla.
Hey.
And we've got Mike.
Guardians. We picked Guardians over TMNT, right? We did that?
Dirtbag Mike is here.
Oh, I'm here.
Full of trash talk.
Just spoiling the Naughties day two.
Oh, they listened. They listened a couple times because they were like, wait, did that happen? Did they leave? I got to rewind that. And sure enough, we did.
Guardians.
That's
good.
okay.
I don't care what Dirtbite Mike says.
I'd keep TMNT on the list too.
TMNT's great.
Guardians.
It was TMNT presents.
Should have flipped them.
The best of
Guardians should have been 6. Six is fine. 6th place is 6th place.
Guardians is great. You're silly. Watch it again.
Nah.
Oh,
yeah,
it's good.
Everyone out there, watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 again. That's the Naughties, but this is not the Naughties. We have finished 2 days of the Nonsense of the Year Awards. Go and check out those episodes if you haven't. They're available in video and audio format, so whatever you want there. But this is the What's Coming Up in February episode. It is January 30th as we record this, and that's nuts. January flew by, but February looks to be quite the I would say quite the video game month. I'm thinking.
Yes.
But
yes.
We'll get to that. There were more video games that I could fit reasonably on our February list. It's been a while though since we've gotten a chance to catch up. We've done the fantasy draft. We've done two days of the Naughties, and we haven't talked much about what's going on, what we've been doing, playing, seeing. Mike started off. What you been digging on?
Pal World,
right.
I've been playing that a lot. I really dig it. This is the game that's kind of sweeping the fucking nation right now. I'm playing on Game Pass. It's sold it might even be up to 10 million by now. Last I heard, it was 7 or 8.
Breaking records, right?
But it always seem like a game is breaking some kind of record lately. But it's very successful. Yes, I just think I don't know. We're only getting Steam metrics here. I don't think it. We're not getting any word from Xbox about how many players. I don't think yet. But anyway, this is the open world survival game. It's very, I'd say it's Pokemon Arceus because it's a lot of Pokemon around in the world that you are capturing and you are fighting with, but you're also doing this base building shit and employing pals. They're called pals, not Pokemon.
Yeah, legally we have to say pals, yes.
Right. And this pal's good at chopping trees. He's a badass fighter, but he chops trees too. So he's going to be my tree chopper over there. And the water elephant is going to plant my crop or, water my crops and stuff. And as you level up your base and build more things, you can put more Pokemon out onto the workforce there. And this game is really making the Pokemon look like PETA as far as animal rights go. For sure. There's I think they're in on the joke on that because eventually you are supposed to be you have factories and you're just building bullets and guns and stuff. This is the Pokemon with guns game. And I just dig the loop. I really like some of my play sessions. I'm only doing base stuff, and then I'm gearing up to go venture out to do a boss fight. There's these kind of raid dungeons scattered throughout this world, and that's where you're fighting. You're it'll tell you this pal is level 35. Well, I'm only level 10, so I'm not fucking with that. And then you'll see other ones that are scaled more to your level. And the game's it's really fun. It's kind of basic in its combat and stuff like that. It crashes constantly on Xbox. And by constantly, I mean multiple time play session, like upwards of 5-6 times.
Wow.
And when you're in the middle of a dungeon and you're like, these are like timed events as well. So like as you enter it, like a timer ticks, and then you can get to I've gotten to, okay, there's the boss at the end. Oh, it booted me back. As soon as as soon as the screen goes black, I'm like, oh, all right. I'm booted back to the home screen, and it's a bummer, but I'm enjoying it.
How long did it take you to get it like into the loop of base building and start really getting going on things?
I built my base right away.
Okay.
The game kind of wants you to do that as soon as it wants you to make something called a PAL deck, I think, and that's like a PC from Pokemon. Basically, you are doing everything from this thing. You are transferring your Pokemon. You're picking which ones are working instead of being in your party. You're teleporting from this thing. It is literally where the center of your sphere of the radius of your base goes up to. Like that is the center point, you know. And then off of that, I just started building beds for my dudes, and I leveled up my base a ton before I even really went out and explored.
Interesting.
Which was kind of the opposite of what I do, but it just kept like, oh, build this now and it'll level up again. So then I just need 50 wood. All right, I'm gonna chop some wood. Oh, it leveled up again. Now I can bring 4 pals out into the work. It just sucked me in right away with that stuff.
I played about 10 minutes, and do you know if you start in the same area? I started in like a temple. Do you always?
Yeah,
start
the
in a
world is
temple?
not procedural.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's like guides, like don't miss a chest, you know. So
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And the map seems like it's like massive. I don't know, as far as like the gray sphere or rectangle, I mean, that I can see. And I've explored a good chunk now, and there's still just so much dark that I haven't uncovered. And I can kind of, I'm seeing a lot of the same pals over and over again, and I'm trying to get out there and find new ones, and I'm kind of finding it tough. But yeah, that's kind of all I've been playing, and basically all I've been watching is some True Detective Night Country. That's been my Sunday jam. I know Eric is really digging it, I think. Kayla, how do you feel?
Yeah, how you liking it, Kayla?
I dig it. I think the entire thing, just the setting, I can think about, and it creeps me out.
Yeah.
Just like you're in Alaska and it's 40 days of night or whatever the hell it is. No sun.
Yeah.
That sounds terrifying. And then all the shit on top of it is just very mood setting. They have to do very little to be creepy, but it's super creepy.
Yeah.
We heard a familiar name. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Weird bear stuff, trying to put that together. They like to just leave little tiny pieces, little crumbs.
Yeah, I had no idea it's only 6 episodes until recently.
We are halfway there.
Yeah, we just finished the 3rd last night, Selena and I, and it is, like Kayla said, just it constantly being in the dark. It's so disorienting as to what is happening. Like, yeah, like do these people?
What day is it? How long has it been?
Right. And the show tries to give you that, but it's, I don't know. There's so many things of, is that real or isn't it? And it's, time isn't fucking real in the show, it seems. And it's, it has me it's so off kilter, and I really dig a show like that. And it has it's so different than that first season. And I never watched 2 or 3, and I kind of want to after every episode of this, I'm like, man, I need my fix. I might just watch season 2 and see if it's okay.
I'd say watch 3 if you're gonna if you commit to it.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't do it in the middle though. I wouldn't want both happening at the same time.
That might be weird. Yeah.
It's Jodie Foster is just like, oh yeah, she's fucking great, and she's so good in this. I love her detective stuff. Like, just ask the right question. It's like, yeah, that's such a cool thing for her to have, like for her to be the true detective or whatever. Like that's her
Truest.
her weird superpower.
Do you guys have a take on whether, because this is definitely the most kind of like supernatural a true detective. I've seen all 4 seasons at this point. And there's like little supernatural elements, especially in like the first one, or it at least makes you like feel like it could be possible. This one straight up like seems like it's like people are seeing ghosts and shit, like in this one. There was a line, I think it's in the first episode, and it's by Fiona Shaw. Her character says like, don't, ironically, as she's talking about like a ghost that she saw, she says like, don't confuse the supernatural or the spirit world with mental health. And I wonder if that's like
Lime water.
Right. I almost wonder if that's like the entire thesis of the show is like, yeah, these people are probably all just like fucked up, and like all this shit you're seeing is not real.
Mind is poisoning them. They're all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah. I go back and forth of whether I want it to like episode 6 ends with like, yep, it was Cthulhu the whole time. Like he was there. They unearthed him. Or if they're going to just say like, I imagine they'll probably keep it ambiguous. They're not going to give us like an actual answer. But
and the whole town disappeared.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, they're doing really cool false narrator stuff with flashbacks and things, and it's just neat. I don't know. It's great.
Yeah.
And they have like all these little characters, and I want to know what each, which one of you is behind all this, and I like that stuff.
Yeah, John Hawkes is real asshole. he's real good. Yeah, I found the Navarro, the like Danvers partner.
The Woody Harrelson.
The Woody. See, I'm going back and forth on who's the Woody Harrelson and who is the Matthew McConaughey of the two. It would be spoilers to. There was kind of a pivotal scene in, I think it was. I'm getting 2 and 3 confused. It was either
I
2
just
or 3.
prefer Danvers, so that's why I give her rust. Really,
she's great. I really like both of them, but Callie Reese is the other actor, and this is like one of her first roles, and I think she's doing a bang up job. She's a boxer, like she was a professional boxer, apparently, like won a couple titles and stuff, and that's how she got into the HBO universe. Like I guess she like did a lot of the HBO boxing stuff, and then they were like, hey, we need like a big physical person to like embody this person who's also like she is like half Native American, and she's got a very like interesting ethnic background, and the character does as well, so like she's kind of perfect for the role. I've been really acting next to Jodie Foster, like one of the best actors of the last 30 years. She's keeping up, in a lot of ways. So I've been impressed with her.
I think Danvers is like look out for top character kind of thing for this year for me already. Danvers, definitely a Menfender. Definitely the only female member of the Menfenders.
Good. Big mare.
Because she knows where all the tail is.
That she does. Well, I'm sure we'll be talking plenty more of Night Country. Yeah, I'm digging it. I knew I'm a mark for it, so it was bound to happen. But
it was Monday at work, and every time the doctor would come in for the exam, we'd be like, "Oh, did you watch the games?" And none of my patients did watch any of the football games. It was kind of weird, and so eventually, at the end of the day, I was like, "Man, I'm over here excited for Sunday for True Detective, and you're excited about games. I don't know what to tell you, man."
Good. Yeah, football's still happening, huh?
Yeah, football's happening.
A little bit longer.
Yeah.
And then it'll be True Detective season. Once football season's over, that's what they say. And
So is this just the last TV show of the year? We just get one TV show?
maybe,
Is that happening or something? I keep hearing like TV's dead or something. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
I doubt it.
That hurts. That hurts me because it really. I like having a show like one after like just reload. Might have to just catch up with The Wire.
Oh, you should.
You
yeah,
know.
it's worth.
The Sopranos.
Gotta do that. I gotta do that. My ma used to watch it, and I caught like episodes here and there as a youth, and I need.
I'm not gonna probably watch either of those, but
Wire's way easier of a watch. It's
maybe like Legion or something. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch Legion.
Yeah, I think it's basically the same, held in the same regard. The only other thing, unless I'm missing something, Kayla, would be Prince of Persia. We've played
yes, yeah,
decent amount of Prince of Persia and the Lost Crown from Ubisoft. And speaking of crashes, found a bug which wasn't great. I can't accept a quest. Like if I accept
I would start over.
it
That
crashes.
sucks.
It's a side quest. Luckily, yeah.
I would start over. That sucks. It's a Metroidvania. What do you do?
Yeah.
That's what it's about. Oh,
in happier news, though, other than that, it's run really, really well, and it's been a heck of a time. It shows you on your save file. It shows like a percentage done, and I think like we're right around like 32% last I checked.
So like 10 hours in. Yeah.
Probably, yeah, something like that. What would you say, Kayla? 8, 10?
Kind of say more than that.
Really?
Like 10,
Wow.
12.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard it's beefy. It's beefy boy.
Yeah,
It's pretty beefy. It's pretty wild. Like some of the sections that you go to, the way you traverse them is very something I've never seen before.
Yeah, the traversal is pretty cool, and they're giving me more tricks. And the cool thing is like it seems like there's a right way to do the traversal, like to use your different tools and stuff like that in every section, but it's not like readily apparent, because it's not like, oh, you get a new tool and immediately the whole next section is like using that tool. It's more spread out. It's more like oh, hey, remember like, yeah, that kind of thing. And
Symphony of the Night, baby.
It's real good. It's hitting that really well, because like it messes around with time, it messes around with like perception. You can change the environment and certain powers you get and stuff like that. I got an air dash that has been really cool. Early on, I didn't really like the early on you just like have a jump, regular kind of jump, and you run by hitting R2, but initially you hit R2 and that's your dodge. You like do an under dodge, you do like a slide, and it looks kind of cool, but that slide always happens. There's no way to, like, if you want to run, you have to start it with a slide, and it's a little odd. I
played the demo. I don't remember that. I played it on Switch, so maybe it was different.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm playing on PS5,
pretty. It's so colorful.
It's good looking game. Yeah, I mean it's like 2D.
I can't wait to play it.
The combat is challenging, but I haven't yet run into I've been frustrated here and there. Kayla can probably attest to that, but it's been more like, okay, let's attempt this boss 4 times as opposed to let's attempt this boss 12 times, that kind of thing. It's like it feels fair in a lot of ways.
Oh, okay.
There's not a lot of like cheapness. It is very like, let's learn the patterns, let's try something new every time. Maybe you equip these like amulets where it'll affect your various like buffs and things of that nature, and so it wants you to kind of, okay, let's see, is it better to equip one amulet versus another or something else like that. It's there's like a resource of how many amulets you can equipped and stuff like that, and there's like one major currency that you're getting, time crystals, and you can there's various like shops and people you can trade them into to upgrade, do different upgrades and stuff. I've heard the story's not great, but I'm intrigued. 30% into it. I think like there's been like there was a twist, maybe like 20% into it. Someone who, you thought was an ally isn't actually an ally, and someone who you thought was an enemy won't be an enemy, kind of thing. Like there's some like intrigue there, and
that's cool because these games usually don't have any of that, and I like that.
Yeah, there's some cutscenes. There's some dialogue. It's the voice acting is like fine. One of the characters I had to look it up because it's not Ralph Ineson, the guy with the like super gravelly deep voice.
The Green Knight.
The Green Knight, right? It's not him, but there's a character that sounds just like him.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. I think all of the praise it's been getting out there and the high critical scores and stuff like that, I think I'm thinking I'm agreeing with them. The bosses are cool. And Kayla mentioned, the environments are diverse.
I've heard it gets tonka tough. Like holy, like
it seems pretty tough.
Yeah,
it is not a game I could play.
Like Metroid Dread level, like. Because that game's tough.
I'd say they're similar. Yeah, I feel. What would you say, Kayla, in terms of like how as I'm traversing through it and stuff, and when I was traversing through Dread, I think I'm failing about the same amount of times and kind of like figuring it out.
Okay.
Yeah, the battles and stuff are tricky. Sometimes it takes a little bit to figure out what you need to do. I just think the traversal is really tough. I could not do the movements for this game.
I scared the cat because I need to like really lock it. Like I'm really hitting the buttons hard sometimes, like just to make sure I'm actually going left instead of right or whatever. Because there's spikes on the right, and I scared the hell out of the cat during one section. But yeah, it's cool. It's good.
Do we get Battle of the Vanias? Do we get Silksong versus Prince of Persia this year?
That'd be
what
awesome.
do you guys think?
That'd be
That'd be fun. What a fun year!
I hope Silksong comes out soon and it feels just like Prince of Persia, so I don't have to like learn a different scheme or anything. Because
Silksong looks wild. Like it looks so much different than Hollow Knight. So I don't know.
Yeah,
well, there's like a trippy Metroidvania one coming up, isn't there? Yeah. Roll it.
Yeah.
Oh, are we segueing, Kayla? Was that the February segue? That's good.
I guess we should do the topic of the thing.
That's a good call. February 2024. We have 20 items for everyone. We had 19, but Mike added a really cool one to the docket, something that I'm now very excited for. Starting off February 1st, we've got Granblue Fantasy Relink coming to PS5, PS4, and PC. Normally, I wouldn't talk about anime games, but we just did the 2024 draft, and this one was gobbled up by D, I believe. Let me pull up our draft. Yeah,
I think it was D.
Yeah, you're right. Big anime titles. Possibly the greatest.
Got that first one down.
He got Granblue Fantasy Relink in the 6th round, or no, 7th round. Wow, yeah, he got it late. So looks cool. Looks like a good looking one of those Japanese action RPG. Real pretty looking. The big huge monster battles and stuff like that. High fantasy, a lot of Final Fantasy kind of vibes to it, but a little more of that anime art style, I would say on that one. Any thoughts on Granblue Fantasy Relink, Mike or Kayla? I mean, either or.
This is the franchise that began as like a fighter, right? I
think you're right.
Ben Pack, R.I.P. of Giant Bomb, was always playing that, it seemed. And then it's like branched out into many different genre now, I think.
I think there's like a mobile MMO or something too. Like
like one of those auto chess game. Remember that? Remember when those games were around?
Yeah.
And this is like, their take on like a MMO Tales game, like those Tales of Hysteria or whatever the hell.
It does look like a Tales of Symphonia or something like that. Yeah.
And there's a big crowd for those. Actually, there's still people who really.
I know. I'm kind of like, damn. How do we let D get that one?
Who really are into this, and that franchise specifically. So I'm eager to see how well D does on that one. It might be sneaky good. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
Yeah. So that's Granblue Fantasy Relink coming to PS5, PS4, and PC February 1st. The next day, we got a handful of things here. First one, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is finally coming out. Knock on wood for that developer. They've had a lot of issues getting this one out there. A lot of delays. Apparently, they had some issues in the beta testing, like the server testing. This game might be dead on arrival, but I want to think the best. Like, Rocksteady is a great studio. They came out with some awesome, Batman games. So the pedigree's there. This game at least looks good. Like, visually, this is a current gen. This is PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. It looks snappy. It looks good. I don't know that anyone likes like the gameplay though, like what it's going for with like a squad-based shooter. Like you think of, it's a superhero game, and then you gave the superheroes guns and did like a squad-based shooter kind of thing. Like it feels like a Destiny a little bit, that kind of thing. But I think there's a really fun commercial we watched, at least with like Will Arnett. It was a live action commercial kind of like promoting the release, and I think that's worth checking out if you don't check out the game. It's a fun commercial. But what do you guys think? Is this one dead on arrival here?
I hope we get to see it. I think it's not something that'll stay around for a long time, but I hope it doesn't like totally bomb.
You guys think you're gonna get it and check it out?
I'll see how it goes.
Yeah, this, like Eric said, this thing's been dead to rights for 2 years now. Like, it just seems like people's had their tomatoes ready just to chuck them at this thing for a long time, no matter how good it is. And just I don't want to talk about the game. I want to talk about Rocksteady. 10 years ago, they were Naughty Dog. They were on that tier. And one fuck up now, and that team's going to be probably decimated. They're going to be the next thing, layoffs, maybe the team, maybe Rocksteady is no more after this thing. I don't know if it's worst case scenario. I don't know. It's a shame. Yeah. They should have did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles like everyone wanted them to.
Maybe they could pick up the Last Ronin IP, because that studio just laid off like half their squad.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were. Yeah.
our hearts go out to Rocksteady. Hopefully, hopefully this can find a niche or something. You know, like people dig games like Destiny and stuff. Cool characters, cool concept. Looks like it runs real cool and stuff. Hopefully, you know.
Did you guys hear about the bug that happened on early launch, like the early edition that came out?
No, I didn't.
People were booting up. They were
Yeah.
booting up their game, and it said they beat the game.
No, oh, no.
It auto completed the game for them
No.
as soon as they launched it. I don't know how that affects, what they experienced, or even if it let them into the game at that point. But
Wow.
that's just they can't win for losing. I don't know. It's
some people might be happy with a platinum. Just they get a free platinum and they can go on to the next game, right?
yeah.
Geez.
Oh well, let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Something else that upsets me.
Happier things. Persona 3 Reload, I said we wouldn't talk about anime games, and here we are talking about anime games, but this one's on here because Kayla drafted this first overall in her draft, and right now it's trending at an 89. It hasn't... it
went down. It was in...
Yeah, we haven't got the official scores yet, but trending at an 89. This is a remake of this was on DS. What was this on originally? PS2. Okay. Yeah. So this is PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC, and looks like one of those. I've always really liked the aesthetic of the Persona games, especially their menus and their the creatures too. The Personas look really cool. I don't think I'll ever play one of these. I've heard they're very long and you have to cultivate relationships and all kinds of stuff like that. But just from an aesthetic standpoint, it's a cool series, and this game, looks cool too.
This series has capital S style, for sure. And it kind of started with this one. Oh yeah. Persona has just gotten bigger and bigger. Persona 5 is secretly one of the most popular games of last gen, probably overall. I didn't care for it, but that's okay. Persona 4, baby. I'm gonna, I'm gonna go dirtbag Mike here. Last year's fantasy champion, Aaron said I could have the title. He gave it over to me, so I'm last year's champion. Gonna repeat here, and how did this 37,000-year-old game gonna come out right now and get a 90? Come on.
You gotta play to the crowd,
It's all right. It's all right. I'll get you back and I'll counterpunch in April or something. with my number 1 against your number 8 pick or something. Damn it.
Good stuff. So that's Persona 3 Reload, coming to just about everything. No Switch. I'm sorry, Switch. Every time I have to say that, I've got to do it. I'm a professional. Argylle coming to theaters same day, February 2nd here. This is the Henry Cavill, Sam Rockwell, Samuel Jackson, Bryce Dallas Howard, who else? Dua Lipa. God, who else is in this? Ariana DeBose, John Cena, Catherine O'Hara, Bryan Cranston. A lot of people are in this movie. It looks absolutely fucking nuts. Henry Cavill's hair in this is it's an affront to God, I think.
I don't know if I've seen it.
The general, I think,
got a high top.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. John Cena's in this as well. I don't know if I mentioned John Cena, but
I didn't see him.
Very good. The general idea is that it's Bryce Dallas Howard's a writer, right? Who wrote Argylle. He's like a James Bond-esque character into and she's super famous for writing this character, but she finds out he might be real. Like it's kind of like that Will Ferrell movie. I almost feel, but in an over the top James Bond flick. Sam Rockwell's also in it, which like reminds me of that movie
Always
you guys
fun.
like, the weird double crossy movie. What's that?
Mr. Right?
Mr. Right? Yeah. Like I feel like this has some, the whole double
Yeah,
agent
it has
of it
some
all.
of that energy.
Yeah. This movie just looks nuts. I don't know what to think. It at some points I'm watching the trailer, I'm like, this looks just awful. And then other times I'm like, I don't know, this cast is cool. I think they're just trying to have fun. It's got like what's the movie, the English movie with Taron Egerton, the spy movie,
Kingsman?
Kingsman.
Or,
it's kind of, I feel like that first Kingsman movie kind of came out of nowhere and kind of had a similar like irreverent vibe, right?
Yeah.
And it was pretty fun. Like I feel like maybe that's what they're trying to like do here. But I don't know, man. If you haven't seen the trailer, Mike, check it out. It looks.
I think I've seen like bits of it, and then I think I'm like skipping it. Like if I get the first 5 seconds of it like 100 times or something.
Yeah, there's a cat, there's a cute cat as well. But yeah, so that's Argylle. I don't know if I properly described anything about it, but I think it could either be an amazing success or just a tremendous bomb. I think there's no in between on Argylle. That's February 2nd.
I think you're right.
Then we're excited.
Yeah, something that's actually probably going to be locked in good is Abbott Elementary Season 3 coming to ABC February 7th. Lisanne Walter, our Jeopardy champ on Celebrity Jeopardy. She just finished up a good run on Celebrity Jeopardy. I've yet to catch more than like 2 episodes of Abbott Elementary. But Kayla,
I love it.
Speak on it. Yeah.
The only thing I can say I don't like about this is that it happened so early in the year, and like the first season like went both years. It like started really late 2022 into 2023, and it confuses me on when I can nominate it and not.
Well, this one's pretty clear, right? Or is this like
this one is
a half? Is this like a back half of a season?
No, this is.
Oh, okay.
This one's clear, yeah. But
good.
The first one was not, and then it messed me up. But now we're clear.
There we go. Yeah.
I love Mr. Eddie. It's like a Parks and Rec in a school in Philadelphia, and it's just hilarious. But heartfelt, it has the like you build with your characters behind the daily classroom hustle and bustle, and it's really cute.
Well said. Yeah, that it's kind of the comedy show right now.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to watch more of it, and I need to.
Abbott Elementary Season 3 coming to ABC. If I didn't say that already, February 7th. I'm sure
the kids really like young Sheldon right now. So maybe I could trade these. Let's watch this instead. I feel like they're the same kind of age bracket kind of thing.
And young Sheldon, that's probably on like what, season 10 or some shit at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like adult relations in Abbott Elementary, like club.
See, the kids love Malcolm in the Middle, and we were getting pretty good at skipping a lot of the Lois and Hal stuff. But then it's like every other episode is like they just want to get at each other, and like we eventually just I don't know we you can't keep up.
Pulled it out of the rotation.
Yeah, like I have to cook. I can't like just be here, Fuck.
Oh, that's good stuff.
So I think Abbott will be okay.
And you gotta get them ready for Breaking Bad eventually. You gotta like wean them.
Greg would love to watch Breaking Bad this instant if I showed him what that was. He is so ready to watch adult stuff, like type movies. Like the Green Knight. He fucking loves the Green
Oh man.
I have to skip like 20 minutes of the Green Knight, so he hasn't seen the whole thing. But
But he knows there's some good shit there. Oh, good stuff. So he'd probably also dig coming February 2nd, Halo Season 2 coming to Paramount Plus.
he probably would. He probably would.
February 8th.
February 8th. Yeah. Coming to Paramount Plus. That first season of Halo was a good building block, like a solid, like B- kind of show. I felt like I was impressed with like the CGI, the action scenes, and stuff like that. In that universe, you've got to do that well. You got to get the battles right. You got to get the spaceships and the armor and all that right. And I think they did. Like,
the suit looks good. The planet looks good. The weapons look good. The acting's not bad. I liked. I can't think of the dude's name. Schreiber.
Yeah, he's Liev Schreiber's brother.
Liev is a part of this. Oh
well,
man,
it's his brother.
It's his brother.
Is John Halo?
Okay.
Yeah.
Liev Schreiber has a brother.
Yeah. Younger brother.
And he's pretty good. And
Brian
I know there's
O'Toole?
that big, huge. Well, Master Chief takes his helmet off. Like, yeah, I know, because this is a fucking live action acting show. Like,
Pablo is his name. Pablo.
yes.
Oh,
I like it. He does it well. Like, being the, like, okay, you've always imagined what Master Chief looked at, like, underneath his helmet, and we see his face in this, and he's very stoic. So I think he's, like, his facial gestures are always very still.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound good when I say it, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah, and he's big,
I'm cool with
too,
them taking the helmet off.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
And I think he fucks, right? Master Chief fucks.
Yeah, I don't need to have that. That's the part I don't love. But
well,
you want to see a Spartan, don't you? But
yeah,
it just seems weird to me. Like Halo was like the biggest thing for a long time. They had a long time to make this show happen, or a movie, or whatever. And like Jon Favreau beat him to the punch with Mandalorian like 5 years ago. And,
that's
who-
Disney
Halo
Star
is
Wars
not what
money,
it was.
though.
I mean, Halo was huge. Halo was the
huge.
industry.
Star Wars is huge still.
Right, but they didn't capitalize on it. I mean, Prince of Persia got a movie. Max Payne got a movie.
Right.
Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
and it's probably
Halo
the
is
dying
the-
days of Halo as a franchise. And I
You
mean,
couldn't do it
at this
before.
point.
We know them adaptations were not good before.
Yeah.
I mean, but what is a great Halo adaptation? I don't know. Come on, the games exist. Like,
Yeah.
True that. Yeah.
Let's move on to something cool, other like Colonial Space Marine stuff.
It's a good call.
than Halo.
It's a good call.
Yeah.
Like Helldivers
Smart.
2, perhaps.
Yes.
February 8th, coming to PS5 and PC. Kayla doesn't remember Helldivers 1 at all. I think I secretly
Really?
played that. Yeah, that's what I was like.
Oh man,
Going into it, like I'm like, oh man, remember Helldivers 1 and all that
It
fun
is-
we used to have at Tomas's house and everything? She's like,
it is
I don't
not
know.
Kayla's jam, to be precise. It is a stressful game. Because the first game was a top-down 4-player co-op. We would play it fucking 4 players, and you all have your laser sight machine guns, and there's friendly fire, and your enemies are just coming at you from all sides.
I'd show
And
you.
you really have. It's a game that where you just have to communicate, and you really have to be like, okay, I'm looking up, I'm looking left. You take that side. And once you get there, the game's really cool. And this looks like it's building upon that, like in really cool ways. Remember, like Eric, the stratagems, like you would choose, like if you needed an ammo loadout, you would have to, like on your wrist keypad or whatever, put in like a code, like Grand Theft Auto shit or something. And the faster you were at doing it, the faster you could get, a ammo drop or a revive of one of your squad mates. And that stuff was really cool. The other really cool part was those things do land, and they could land on your squad mates or take out like a huge bug. And you could use that to your advantage too, because if anything got hit by this, it died. So
it seems like they're keeping that aspect in the, like the stratagems are definitely back. The drop ship of it all, like things dropping down, your characters dropping down from drop ships, your supplies and stuff dropping down. I think that's all here. We watched like a gameplay breakdown with the developer, and they either just chose not to highlight friendly fire, or it's just not in this game because of the new perspective. It seems like maybe you can still drop things on each other, like,
right,
but maybe not shoot each other, which I think would be kind of decent. Like, I think that's a good trade-off.
Middle of the ground.
I think so, because like
you can probably toggle it or something, probably, or it's still got to be there. I just think it is such a lessened thing now that with the added behind the back perspective of this, it's a true third person shooter now. The old one was similar to like fucking Smash TV or something. Imagine if Smash TV had friendly fire. You would not, that would suck, right? It's got to have that. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. It just looks great. It looks like they took every system from the first game and just like added on top of it in interesting ways. You mentioned the like putting in a code, almost a cheat code or whatever to do things. They did highlight that. Like you'll have to go to an objective or whatever, and maybe like put in a code, and you got to do it like quick, or because everything's you're kind of always on a timer in that game. You're always being swarmed. You're always being like shit dropped on you.
Or you'd have to sweep a minefield with a mine detector, and oh shit, none of us brought a mine detector with us. The inventory system, every squad mate, you could carry like 4 things.
Yeah.
So you would always want like a machine gun. Someone would want a rocket launcher. Someone would want a sexo suit, a robot suit. Someone's bringing extra ammo because you always run out of ammo. I hope this is great. I hope it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm wondering how, because we never really like it's a connected game too, and we never really messed with any of that stuff where like it's a every action you do is leading to like progress in a global
galaxy
war?
Conflict. Yeah.
Right.
You were like, were you part of the, Marine Federation or that kind of thing. And by the time Tomas and Ryan and I got into it a lot, that stuff seemed to have been settled, and there was no way to really interact with that anymore. And we were just kind of just doing the campaign.
Yeah, hopefully it allows you to do that, because like it seems cool. Like they were breaking it down of like, if you go to this planet, you'll have more like influence on the overarching war or whatever else, and you can get like benefits to doing that kind of thing. But I don't want to be forced to like like, oh, we have to go to that planet or whatever else, otherwise we're whatever, something bad's gonna happen, that kind of but,
hoorah, I hope it's good.
I agree. I'm excited. Helldivers 2, PS5, PC, February 8th. Let's get dropping, guys. Turning Red coming back to theaters, or coming to theaters for the first time, I believe, February 9th.
Right, it didn't get a
COVID
theater
movie. Yeah, that was one of those that they just threw on to streaming. We all really enjoyed it.
Love Turning Red. I love it.
I'd watch it in theaters.
I think we might. I did not know this was happening.
Thing to go out and do. It just sounds like a good day.
They're doing it with all those like COVID era movies, like Soul, Turning Red,
Luca.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'd be
Raya probably they should do.
Yeah. So
Luca on the big screen would be great too. Such a beautiful movie, man.
Yeah, there's been a distinct lack of like quote kids movies, good animated movies. Like there's not a real consistency there.
We had a glut of them last year.
Yeah,
we had so many great ones.
Yeah, we did.
We had Boy and the Heron, which didn't really get mentioned in any of our topics, but really cool movie, like really amazing. Why not just Ghibli does this every year. They'll every month they'll show a new movie in theaters. One month it's Spirited Away, next month it's Mononoke, next so on and so on. Pixar should just do that every year. Why not? They'll make a ton of money.
Yeah, they really would. What are they thinking? Get Pixar on the phone.
Is there another movie coming out this?
There is, Mike. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. February 9th, also coming to theaters. Lisa Frankenstein. Great name. Wonderful play on words there. Wasn't aware of this one till Mike threw it out. So do the honors, Mike. Lisa Frankenstein.
This is a movie akin to another movie I liked growing up called My Boyfriend's Back. And where just a teen has an untimely death, and through some kind of magic chicanery, they come back to life, and they're kind of zombified. This movie's very similar. Catherine Newton is the main character. She's kind of a Lydia from Beetlejuice kind of thing going on. She listens to The Cure. She mentions that in the trailer. And I don't even know if she was dating Dylan Spruce is like the zombie, the boyfriend that comes back, the Frankenstein. It makes that out that like he was like a folk. There's like some kind of urban legend about this.
I think he's from the olden times.
Yeah, and she's just kind of a Depeche Mode kid and worships at this grave and stuff. And eventually, like somehow, through like a thunderstorm or something, he rises from the grave, and she has to find a way to bring him back to looking normal, because he's looking very rough when he first comes out. And I think they go on like a killing spree together. It's a movie like a John Waters, like Serial Mom was one of my favorite movies growing up, of just dark comedy. And it's do you guys know who's directing the movie?
Yeah, Zelda Williams.
Zelda Williams.
That's fucking great.
Robin Williams' daughter. Diablo Cody wrote it. Creator of Juno.
Hell yeah.
And United States of Terra. What up? And I think it just looks like a lot of fun. I wish this was just like a Hulu thing, though. Like
that is exactly what I said. That's so funny. I thought it feels like a perfect Hulu movie.
Yes. And it's a theater joint. I think I'll be seeing Turning Red instead. But this movie looks awesome.
It does. Super like there's a scene in it in the trailer where some neighbors are like seeing the chicanery that's going on or whatever else. It just looks like a Tim Burton town, it very much like has that vibe. And they play The Promise by Win in Rome in the trailer, a song that I love.
Yeah.
And that got me.
It seems very fun, very reminiscent, and that's what I want now. We've really had a lack of comedy anything.
I really love the pun, the Lisa Frank part of it.
So good.
I feel like they're not leaning into that enough with just kind of
maybe they will
colors. I hope there's some kind of scene with like all of that like cheetah, like that's pink, green, and orange, like that just wacky color schemes of the 90s.
Right.
Someone's got to have like a trapper keeper or something, something.
Gotta. But yeah,
good stuff. Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Yeah, that looks great. Lisa Frankenstein coming to theaters February 9th. February 13th, we've got a couple of games. Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden, coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Pretty cool concept. It's like a pair. They seem to be like a couple, husband, wife, whatever, of ghost hunters. They're like, or it looks to be Victorian era or just before that, maybe colonial era kind of. And they're taking out these ghosts. It looks like the wife, the woman, dies as part of their ghost hunting, and becomes a ghost herself. And then now you can kind of use her, like her spirit form, in combat and throughout the story. Just looks really pretty, like a third-person action adventure game. Looks dark. It gave me Kena, Bridge of Spirits vibes in terms of like the
spirit world stuff of it, the kind of
right. And I think like it doesn't seem to be like a full open world. It seems to be more of like a smaller type game about the spirit world and maybe something that's 15 hours or something.
It reminded me of the older Witcher games before 3. Kind of 2 was kind of open, but not really. The combat seemed very Witcher to me.
Yeah.
Did you guys see like he like transforms into like his like mentor, like when he's in combat and stuff? Like,
I don't
she's
know
just doing like palm strikes and stuff, and like he's just changing back and forth in the combat. That looked pretty neat.
I'd like to see more.
It just it seems like this is Sony's version of The Witcher, and it's Don't Nod that's making it, which is another crazy thing. They made Jusant last year, and they're like the Life is Strange people, and it just seems like they're just going to be like platinum and make whatever they want to make.
It's a talent to just come out with completely different genres and everything.
Yeah. This looks like the most money behind it kind of thing that they have, and I hope people like I don't know. It's just
it gives me
every time someone takes a big swing now, it's like oh god. I hope it hits. I hope you at least get a single. Fuck. God damn. A walk. Fuck.
Yep. We'll see.
But anyway,
Banishers,
the next one.
Ghost of New Eden coming February 13th. Ultros also coming February 13th. PS5, PS4, and PC. Psychedelic Metroidvania. We kind of spoiled that. A Metroidvania was coming up.
I think I know why the Lisa Frankenstein is losing a lot of its Lisa Frankness, because this game has all of it. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It very much looks like Lisa Frank vomited all over a Metroidvania. Looks cool. Looks cool as hell. It seems like in the trailer that I saw at the very end, it seems like there's some sort of maybe either roguelike or Souls type mechanic. It seems like your character like dies and comes back or is in a loop or something like that. Did you catch that, Mike?
Yeah, I mean that's every kind of one of these is going to have that, corpse run type kind of mechanic of some kind. Pal World even has that. I didn't mention that.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, it stinks. I die a lot, and I have to have all my stuff. I have to go get it. But this one's going to be tough because if it's not great, it's why none of us drafted this, because Prince of Persia came out before our draft. It's like what, 89?
Yeah.
There's only one Metroidvania that could top that right this year, and that's Silksong. It's just I would rather play Prince of Persia right now. Like, it's just tough. This is like when Spelunky 2 came out, like the same day as Hades did or something.
I was gonna say, do you think we get Hades this year as well?
Yeah, like just
right. So there's more.
Game of the year might still be to come. So I don't know. I think Ultros might just get forgotten, unfortunately.
Tough sledding. Beautiful looking game though. It looks really cool.
I'm sorry, I've been like a bummer this whole
No. Hey, man. It's,
Turning Red's coming. I mean, that's exciting.
Woo!
And on Valentine's Day, I'm pretty sure I've got this date right.
It's gonna get even better.
February 14th. You can take your honey out to Madam Web in theaters. What to say about Madam Web? You know, what to say about
What to
Madam Web?
say?
Man, as soon as that trailer dropped, and I was like, "What was that? Oh my god!" And this is like one of the Spider-Verse, not that Spider-Verse, but the Sony like Venom,
Properties.
Craven, whatever. Yeah, it's supposed to tie in with all of that. Madam Web is just like the weirdo that teleports Peter Parker in the animated series, like teleports him to like War Planet or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's how I know her. But Dakota Johnson is the main character. She is going to be Madam Web. But there's also like 3 other Webettes.
I like it.
Sydney Sweeney being one of them from Euphoria. And I don't know. It's so up its own ass, and Dakota Johnson's like just sleepwalking through her whole narration of this weird trailer, and she's like backpedaling. She's doing like the PR stuff for this right now, and she's like, "Yeah, it's just I had no idea what was going on like, while we were making this." I don't. This is going to be like one of those Razzie train wreck movies of the year, I think, and just going to have to back away and watch it from afar.
Well, you know what?
Me too.
You guys can just instead of Madam Web, go and check out the Marvels. Much better female-driven fun at the theater.
This is going to be Morbius times 100.
Oh wow.
Just come on. Remember that? Remember?
I remember how bad that was.
Remember Morbin time? Remember that?
It's coming back. I'm sure it's coming back when this movie.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure that will be in the theaters.
They're gonna say like Morbius or something, and like it's to link the two. They're gonna be like, yeah, just like Dr. Michael Morbius said.
To my mother in the jungle while she was photographing spiders. Do you remember that, Eric?
It makes you appreciate Venom, right? Like it makes
Venom's
you appreciate that Venom's fun,
Venom.
right?
It had that cool Eminem song in the credits. Tom Hardy's the GOAT, man. He can turn he turns shit into gold, man. Hey,
he does.
He sure does.
Yes, he does. Maybe he'll make a cameo in Madam Web, coming to theaters February 14th. February 16th, we get Mario vs. Donkey Kong coming to Switch. This is a remake of a Game Boy game, is that right?
Game Boy Advance game.
Game Boy Advanced, okay.
People are pleading for Donkey Kong 94, the Game Boy, like
that's the one.
The original of these to be released on NSO, which maybe we'll get soon. Who knows? But yeah, this is a remaster of the GBA game, which is like a puzzle platformer style. If you took the original Donkey Kong and Super Mario Brothers and fused that, it kind of becomes this. You're just trying to find like a key to get to the next level, and you have to keep doing these platforming challenges and solving puzzles to get the key in each level.
Mm-hmm.
To get to Donkey Kong.
At the top, you sometimes throw in barrels.
I was completely unaware of this like series or the original game or whatever else. I thought Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. I know those, but
this one came out and people liked it, and then they did a sequel called March of the Minis, and it was like kind of Lemmings like. You had these little Mario robots that marched around a lot, and I don't think anyone liked that one. And then the series just kind of died after that. And they know that this is the waning months of the Switch's life, and a great time to have something like this come out right now.
Yeah. It's Mario vs. Donkey Kong coming to the Switch February 16th. Same day as, I guess it's happening, guys. Skull and Bones coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC.
All in Suicide Squad. Oh god.
This, like, the cursed development aside of Skull and Bones, looks solid. I think it just looks like a good, solid, like, pirate game. Like, and if it can capture the best parts of it was built as like an offshoot of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag, if you guys remember that game from 15 years ago or whatever. There were some great, like, the pirating in that game was a lot of fun. The base attack stuff I really, really enjoyed. You would pull your pirate ship up to a base, hit it with some cannons. It would be shooting cannons back at you. You kind of break down a wall or something. Then you send your little pirate army into the base. And
I don't think this has that though.
I don't know if it's bolt only or not, because it does show like some third person stuff in the gameplay that I've seen.
On a boat.
Well, in like
it's like some market stuff, doesn't it?
Right. So yeah, I don't know.
It's a port. It's a port. You might get a base there.
I would hope
Miss Jackie or Black Jackie or whatever her name is from.
Our flag means that.
Yeah.
I would hope at least there's like boarding of other ships, because that was one of also the really cool things of Black Flag would be like you could, shoot them with your cannons for a while, get their health down, and then you'd have a boarding party, and there's your 20 dudes against their 20 dudes, and fighting, throwing people off, and that was really cool. So I don't know. Skull and Bones,
This game has been delayed so many times. I think they're actually planning to move it up a day before Suicide Squad, so they can they should just announce season 3 of Our Flag Means Death is in Skull and Bones. That is the only way. Like, I don't know. They got to do some kind of crossover to save this thing. This thing has been dead to rights even longer than Suicide Squad. So,
well, fine. Skull and Bones coming to PS5, Xbox Series, and PC February 16th. February 21st, we get Constellation, Apple TV Plus. This is just Returnal, the series. And I'm excited. This looks real. It's Naomi Rapace, right? That's the main chick.
I was going to ask you how to say.
I'm pretty sure that's kind of probably how she says her name. She loves being in stuff like this, like Prometheus, apparently. It just like super Returnal vibes. Astronaut goes into space, has a daughter to come home to, goes into some sort of weird wormhole or something weird happens in space, comes back to Earth, and things are not what they seem. Maybe doesn't have a daughter. Who knows? Ghost daughter. It's the plot of one of my favorite games of the last 5 years, and it's the plot of this show. And I've really liked a lot of the stuff that Apple TV's been putting out, especially kind of in the sci-fi genre and stuff like that, like Severance.
Severance filming began.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting. Yeah. What do you think of Constellation?
Definitely Returnal vibes. But do you guys remember that movie Lucy in the Sky? That Natalie Portman movie?
I never saw it. I know it. Yeah.
I remember other Natalie Portman movies that are a bit.
Well, it was
trippy.
like I think that was like a biopic kind of thing where it was like she was out in space and came back and was just fucking different. Fucked her up. She was just like not the same.
Yeah.
But this is like, the Returnal, Annihilation, like all mixed with that, and looks dope. I'm a big fan of hers. Prometheus. What up? It's a great movie. It's the Apple of it all. What bothers me. I need to sign back up for Apple.
Get you a free trial or something.
Yeah, these kids, that's what these kids are good for. Some new fucking emails to get some of these free trials, Jack.
Hell yeah.
Come on with it.
Nowadays for school and stuff, kids probably need email addresses, right?
Hell yeah.
Oh shit, that's great. See, yeah, get that Pal World puppy mill there going, with those kids. Oh, good stuff. Constellation going to Apple TV on February 21st. Avatar: The Last Airbender coming to Netflix February 22nd. Fresh off of the, I think, successful adaptation of One Piece, live action adaptation. This very much seems like the same thing. I'm not familiar with the Avatar world in the same way that I wasn't familiar with the One Piece world, but it at least looks like Netflix is like giving them the budget that they need to like give you the full experience. Like there's a lot of CGI, there's a lot of fantastical elements, flying on a giant fluffy beast and shooting fire and all kinds of stuff, and it all looks good. Like for it looks like they put the dollars out there. You're not really an Avatar guy, Mike, right?
No, I did rent that 360 game to get the really easy 1,000 achievement points. I did that, and that is the most kind of knowledge I have. I think this is where I'm going to dive in, though. That show is like highly regarded. It is like if you look at animated show lists, it is always near the top. And I always hear just great things about the character development and stuff in that show, and even its successor, Korra, Legend of Korra. Right. That's supposed to be a great show as well. Maybe we'll get that.
Yeah, it'll be a nice. I think. Hopefully, it seems like it'll be a nice jumping point. Like you said, you don't have to have a whole lot of background information.
And it's not as big a series. Well, no series is as big as One Piece, but like in terms of length, right?
Avatar is like a few seasons, I think.
Yeah.
Approachable. It's pretty tidy. But yeah, I would rather watch a live action version of it, honestly. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I think the kids are in that kind of mode right now to watch live action stuff as well. We watched all of that Yu Yu Hakusho, One Piece and stuff.
How was Yu?
Not bad, pretty good.
Nice.
Made some changes and I'm kind of all for that because I don't want to watch the same thing over, especially since me and the kids have been watching all of those kind of beginning things already. So I don't want to rewatch it, but not as good as One Piece. I think One Piece is kind of top dog.
Nice.
Right now for adaptations like that.
Netflix is doing it. I mean, there's no one better in the game right now, adapting video games, anime. Like, they're doing it. So good stuff. Avatar: The Last Airbender coming to Netflix February 22nd. Also February 22nd, PS5, PC, Pacific Drive, the survival horror driving game. You basically have the Ecto One. You get an old station wagon that you're equipping. Ghost fighting. I don't exactly know what the combat of it all is. But the vibes are
cool. Like leather.
Yeah, it does.
Like
the unknown. You got to get through.
I don't know.
There's probably animals and beasts. There's probably all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You just
drive in a car,
or fucking the Hideo Kojima box carrying courier one.
Stranding,
yeah.
Yeah, but you're just in a really spooky setting, scurrying away.
If this game is really cool of just letting you clip through stuff or knock stuff down, because the worst part of driving through, and it looks like a lot of wooded areas, is just getting boxed in between trees and shit, and you're just doing that Austin Powers backup thing. And if it can feel arcadey, because isn't it like a roguelike thing? You're doing runs after
I
run.
can tell.
It does seem like there's some run aspect to it because you got like a home base. You're plotting out your like course that you're gonna go about, and it feels like
It'd
there's
be really
a loop
fun
there.
if it is just like a downhill jam, Tony Hawk 1 style type. Just try to make it through this like plotted course of a thing, just to get to the end. I don't know.
I'm fascinated by the Pacific Northwest, and it seems like that's almost like a character in the game. Like they're just like this weird paranormal version of like Washington or something, or Oregon. Like the forest of it.
Sony showed this thing like 17 times, and none of us kind of know what it is.
Yeah.
It's that's crazy.
But your boy drafted it, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I think you guys are getting some points.
Pacific Drive, PS5 and PC, February 22nd. Speaking of Drive, Away Dolls, coming to theaters February 23rd. This is a Ethan, but not Joel Coen film. I think the first time the brothers have not worked together on a film. I thought,
to
my knowledge,
Macbeth was like that as well.
Oh, was it? Okay. Oh, so maybe they just don't like each
Which
other.
kind of came and went. Like I wanted to ask, like, what's up with this Coen thing? Like, no one gives a fuck that I had no idea this movie existed, and it's at least say a Coen brother. Like, is he the shitty brother? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know which is the beef of the two. But
this is like Margot Qualley, a ton of other people that I'm blanking on right
Feldstein,
now.
Coleman Domingo's in this one.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yes. Looks great. I mean, it looks like a Coen Brothers movie in a lot of ways, like a kind of a irreverent crime movie. Yeah. Pedro Pascal, Matt Damon. We'll see.
Did see his creepy looking ass in there.
Yeah.
I thought that was him.
So the general idea seems to be that, and I'm gonna have to look up her name, Geraldine Viswanathan. Sorry, Geraldine, I may have botched your last name. And Margaret Qualley are just like, they want to take a road trip. They're like not really digging their surroundings, their dating life, etc. So they rent a car and they just want to go somewhere random. I forget where. It's like Springfield or something that they just like go to. And they just so happen upon the rental place that also has dealings with like the mob or something. So the car that they rent has a suitcase with something in it. They do a very Pulp Fiction, what's in the suitcase kind of thing. But obviously there's something in there that they shouldn't have, and now the mob's after them. But it just looks like a cool, like, dark comedy crime movie a la Fargo or something like that, where they're going to mix violence with camp and silliness. Bill Camp as well. I think it looks awesome. We saw the trailer for this in front of, I don't remember, Kayla. This was like 6 months ago or so.
The
Bottoms, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe it was Bottoms. Yeah, and
it was like a Bottoms trailer movie.
Right. And I was blown away. I was like, I've never heard of this. What? Oh, it's a Coen brother movie, and I think it's going to be a blast. I also see here it's only an hour and 24 minutes, so like a snappy film.
Yeah.
Get in, get out. Cool cast, cool, like, just cool premise. Exciting. I guess we'll find out who the better Coen is. Was it Joel who did Macbeth?
No, I think it's just been Ethan.
Oh.
I think
Joel's just out of the biz, huh?
I don't know. Yeah. It's a shame.
Interesting. He Drove Away, like the Drive Away Dolls, coming to theaters February 23rd. Shogun, the show that I picked for most anticipated of 2024 when we did that little conversation, coming to FX February 27th, and I assume Hulu. All the FX shows come to Hulu. This is a big, epic, very much looks like The Last Samurai, like hopefully the white guy doesn't save the whole the whole of Japan, but just looks like a really awesome epic samurai tale set at that like really interesting time of like Japan, similar to Blue-Eyed Samurai, which I just watched and should have talked a lot about because it was fucking dope. But kind of that like last gasp of the old ways of Japan and their integration with the West and stuff like that. Trying to keep their culture, keep the shogun. If you're not familiar, is like the warlord king of like feudal Japan and stuff like that. So I think it's going to go into all of the politics, but it just looks like a fucking violent, bloody, cool ass like medieval epic set in Japan. The second trailer for it is just like just nuts violent.
Oh wow.
And like I was surprised like they're gonna get like FX has kind of always pushed the envelope a little bit with like gore and sex and stuff like that, but like
aliens.
It looked like an HBO show, like it looked like they're cutting heads off and shit. Like
and holding them up and examining them.
right. Just looks real cool. Real excited for it. Hiroyuki Sanada, the once and true Scorpion, is the
my Scorpion.
Yeah. Is the title Shogun, I believe.
My Bullet Train.
Hell yeah. Oh man, he's good in Bullet Train too. Cool dude. John Wick as well, right? He was John Wick.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Badass dude. Good martial artist, and I don't know. Shogun looks great. I don't know what else to say.
You got me excited for that. Awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let's. Yeah.
The big one. The big one.
Yep.
February 29th, last but certainly not least, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth coming to PS5 and PS5 only. In honor of this, I've started the intermission.
Intergrade or whatever.
Yes, yeah. The
Yuffie
stuff. Yeah, so I played about 20 minutes of that the other day.
Too. You just jumped right in, right? You didn't worry about.
Jumped right in. It warns you. It like tells you like you should really play the main game.
Which I did, but that was like 40 years ago. Fuck.
It's been a while. 2019 that game came out?
I think you're right.
Wow. So yeah, this is the sequel to Final Fantasy VII remake, titled Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And what's to say about this one? Gonna be a hit. That remake was huge, gigantic game. Kayla, name me the entire team from Final Fantasy VII.
You could do it, Kayla. I know you can.
Cloud, Barrett, Tifa. I don't know the chick in the dress.
Don't worry, she's not important.
Ayla.
Is she?
Close.
It's an A.
Aerith.
Arithmetic.
Aerith.
Yeah. Good. You got like 3.
Don't I get more for that?
Yeah. Exactly. And Yuffie actually does that fanfare as well when you're playing with her. It's interesting. I thought it was just going to be a Barrett thing, but yeah.
I liked it. I mean,
that first game, yeah. You dug that one. That was your first kind of introduction.
Your first Final Fantasy, yeah.
I think it's a good one to kind of to do it.
I do too. Yeah.
That combat system is so cool. Everything they've shown for this one has me just like, man, that looks great. Look at that. They show like 100 million different little things in every trailer, and everything looks cool. when I finished that original FF7 remake, the original remake of the original, I was kind of down on it because that ending's weird. I've kind of listened to like the different things and different takes on it, and I kind of come to terms with whatever's going on, and I kind of I commend Square Enix for even doing this, what they're trying to accomplish, and this is going to be amazing. Tomas, hats off to you for getting it. He drafted that. And it's gonna be like Game of the Year contender already in February. So very excited. Eric,
how big do you think this is gonna be? That first one was like 35-ish hours, right? Like right around there.
I think they gave an interview to GameSpot that this is maybe a little more than that.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be pretty similar. But then that was like main story, and I think this one is going to be crammed with all of the side stuff that's in like the last 3 discs of the original game. It seemed, and
I bet you they're adding a lot. I bet you they add.
Sure, exactly, yeah, and kind of bummed that like to hear like Vincent's not playable in this one. But we're getting Sid, we're getting Red 13. Can't wait to see just what everyone plays like. This is like it's like Tekken but an RPG or something. Like the battle system, especially Tifa, reminds me of a Tekken character. If Tifa got in Tekken 8, oh man, that has
people
to happen.
People are calling for. That's what the fans want it.
Yes, they put fucking Noctis in that shit. Put the queen, put Tifa in that shit. It's the biggest release of the year that we know of, right? Right now,
that's a good question. Yeah, I think so. I think you're probably right.
It was the one I wanted most. If I would have got first pick, it would have been mine.
Yeah, good call. I'm excited. I hope it is like. Because I thought that first one was like the perfect length. I didn't do every last thing you could possibly do in that one. But I also didn't like completely mainline it. I did some most of the side stuff or whatever else, and it was like perfect. I feel in terms of like length. It'll be interesting to see where are they going to start you off, like level wise and materia wise and all of that. That is weird.
I think
wish
they'll
they
start you off with it and just have to push it somehow or add to it somehow. And you mean like you're gonna lose all your stuff to be able to gain it?
Well, right, because like there's no like linking to, like I played that original on the PS4, and like my save data isn't gonna be. At least to the best of my knowledge, I don't think that the save data is transferring in any way, shape, or form. I don't think that's possible.
Not doing any.
Right. So, like, like there were all kinds of materia that were optional. You know, it's an RPG. Like, you could level your characters how you want and everything else. So, how do you like the Cloud that you're going to start with in Rebirth? What's his deal going to be? What level he's going to be at?
Right,
like what materia did he find?
Level 1. Stuff.
That'd be wild. I will say in the Yuffie DLC, she starts at level 25 and has like 6 different like random materia. Like she's got like a healing materia.
Okay.
She's got stuff, like you're not starting base level in any way, shape, or form.
That's interesting. Yeah. I don't know, because there was like a level cap, I thought, in Remake, wasn't
maybe
it?
Like level 40 or something? Yeah, 40, 50, something like that. Yeah, I think you're right.
So maybe you
maybe
start
they capped you off to be able to give you more here.
Yeah, that's probably what they were thinking. Like we, have to make at least 2 more games after this. So
taper it.
Yeah, well, we'll see when Final Fantasy VII Rebirth hits PS5 on February 29th. And that's the last day of
That's
February.
February.
That's Leap Day, right?
The
February?
29th day.
Yeah,
Yay.
his birthday.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So, as we do on all of these now,
Yeah, hell
what
yeah.
are we most excited for, guys? I'll pick first.
I wonder.
I'm gonna go with Constellation.
Okay,
To be a
sure.
little different, to be a little out there. I just think I love the vibes, the returnal of it all, and I'm an Apple TV Plus stan. I've realized it now. I stand.
Yeah,
for
I like
Steve.
Apple TV a lot.
So yeah, we call ourselves Steves instead of Stans.
Nice. I'll go next. I mean, it really is Rebirth for me. I've just really been wanting to buy a game, and I'm like, that's the one that I'm waiting to get. Like, I didn't get Prince of Persia, I didn't get whatever else is coming out recently. Like, Infinite Wealth. I've even thought of fucking getting that fucking game. But man, I might have to get Helldivers too before I get because it looks dope. That would be like my second place.
Who's our fourth? We got another Tomas.
Perhaps.
I'll take Drive Away Dolls then, because that just looks like more of what I want. I want some funny, especially female-led funny stuff. Give me that. It gives me such like even Quentin Tarantino vibes. Like that's what I want.
Hell yeah!
And honestly, it's not. We didn't get a chance to talk about it, but I am super excited for the state of play for tomorrow.
Right? Yeah, we're getting a state of play tomorrow.
Guys, got any kind of what you're hoping for that? Any kind of wishes we want to come true?
No wishes, but against my own sanity, I am kind of excited for Death Stranding 2, and I think we're gonna probably
call.
Get some Death Stranding 2 stuff. So that first game is deeply flawed, but I still I did enjoy my time with it when all was said and done. So I want to jump back into that world.
Thought about it much. I don't know.
Maybe I'm really hoping for Shadow of the Erd Tree, the Elden Ring stuff.
Yeah, we get something.
There was some kind of rumor that's like soon, like coming out like within months.
I know people were doing
perfect
like
place for them to announce it.
Data mining or whatever in like Steam or something, and like the So that shit, sometimes that shit is legit. Right.
I hope to see more like Silent Hill 2. If they can make a Silent Hill game not feel like dog shit, that would be awesome.
That'd be weird.
Yeah, I know. It's
Silent Hill.
Yeah. I don't know. They're so unknown to me. I don't because they've already said they're doing Rise of Ronin or whatever. And that other I think there is like another like ninja style game that they're going to talk about. So I don't think we're going to get like Ghost of Tsushima 2 or something like that, or anything from like Sucker Punch. Eric, you were in the Discord. You were hoping for Returnal news as well. So
yeah, that was just like
pie in the sky. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what I want. That's what I want right now. Yeah. Come on, I want.
I'd even take like some DLC for Returnal or something.
Right.
I don't know what else you do with that. Like I feel like that is a fully fleshed out like story and world and stuff. So I don't know what a Returnal 2 is, but I'm here for it regardless.
I want a new Housemarque game then.
Yeah, sure.
After Returnal, after what they were able to just do for the action genre, I don't know. Give me whatever they got next for sure.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Sony State of Play, not February, but still very exciting. But that's that. that's our February episode of the Machine of Nonsense. Our next episode is the final day of the Nonsense of the Year Awards. Day 3, we will be doing Best TV and Best Games of 2023. Check out Day 1 and Day 2, and then check out Day 3. That's coming right up. Thanks for joining us. You can always reach us at machineofnonsense@gmail.com or all over social media. We are at The Machine of Nonsense. Drop us a line. Let us know how we're doing, what you're most excited for in February. If you're a Spotify listener, I put a little question on every episode of this podcast. Every one of our what's coming up episodes, I ask, what are you most excited for in said month? So if you're a Spotify listener, answer that question. Shows up in some way in Spotify. I don't know. I don't do Spotify, but they just.
We're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out. All right, guys, we are getting out of here. That was episode 156 of the Machine of Nonsense. We are saying goodbye.
Bye.
Hey.